All right, guys. Good morning. We're gonna put some music now. Hope the music is fine. I honestly had no idea that I was already live streaming. Thank God I didn't say something weird. All right. I was marking up some things on the chart, watching some stuff. So, how have you guys been? I've been receiving some complaints about the fact that I haven't been live streaming lately, and yeah, it really goes to show that wow, apparently you guys, or at least some of you, you guys miss me, or you like me live streaming, or whatever. The thing is that I was really, it was really nice to see some of you writing to me. Actually, not some of you, but it was one of you in particular who wrote to me and asked me, "Hey, Alex, are you okay? Because you haven't been live streaming for quite some time now, and we miss you." So yeah, it's really nice. Doop 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 doop. Okay, so we're looking at gold as usual. And oh my god. Earlier today, during the London session, I took this long trade in here. It was this SMT divergence that really made it click. So you can clearly see that gold made a lower low, or you could even call them relatively equal lows, doesn't really matter. Bottom line is that silver was making a higher low, so the indicator pair, in this case silver, was showing underlying strength. And it was pretty obvious that if gold made a lower low or equal lows, whatever, in here, and then it would follow with the bullish fair value gap, then the move under that low would have obviously been a sell-side liquidity sweep. And then I moved down to the 1 minute chart and I waited for a fair value gap to occur. I initially was looking to, let me guys show you. I was initially looking to take a long off of this fair value gap, which it would have looked like this. But eventually I waited for an SMT because there was no SMT over there. So basically after price made a lower low here on gold, it then followed with this bullish fair value gap in here, and it rejected off of that with that candle. And as a target, I was looking for price to rebalance this bearish fair value gap that it had left behind yesterday on the 5 minutes. It's the 1040 bearish fair value gap. And it's basically what drove price lower for the rest of the day yesterday. It was also important to me, or not important, but more like appealing, the fact that, hold on, because I'm trying to find the brush. Okay, here it is. The fact that price had swept the high that it created after 9:30 open. And then, so it swept that high over here and then it went down. And then it created this bearish fair value gap, which it did not rebalance afterwards. So that's basically what made me consider that we might actually be looking into rebalancing that, especially since we did get that bullish SMT divergence in here. And you can also see that the bullish SMT divergence also occurred inside inversion fair value gap in here. So we can see a bearish fair value gap on a 240 M5 candle. Price rebalances that and then moves lower, sweeps sell side liquidity under the low of the Asia session. But as you guys can see, we had no SMT divergence in here, so that's why it was not actually a good time to buy yet. All right. So what am I looking at right now, or what am I waiting for today? Honestly, as usual, don't necessarily have a bias. All I know at this point is that this area is SMT sell side, so I'm just going to mark that accordingly. Also in here on silver, SMT sell side, and that's about it for now. So nothing really, no relevant SMT around here. I mean, I am looking at the 850 candle being the highest on gold for now, for the beginning of the New York kill zone, and the 850 candle is not the highest on silver, so I'm sort of like looking at this CB over here. Who knows? I don't know. Anyway. So basically when gold rejected with the 850 candle, this one, after taking buy sell liquidity above here, at the same time, silver created a sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. So I have two directly correlated pair, one rejecting from a high or after sweeping a high, and then at the same time the other one is creating sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. So I would consider short setups, but it doesn't look that clear for now, so I'll just keep on waiting. If I'll go to the 1 hour, there's this buy side area in here. And silver, this one as well. So apart from this, it's just yeah, I mean, what can I say? Sweeping buy side over here, and then I don't know, maybe it's gonna sweep that high and then push lower. I have no idea. I'll just wait for price to be clear, because for now, at least for me, it isn't. So I'll just do that. 1 more minute until, actually 20 more seconds until 9:30 open. Yeah. It's also rejecting sort of like from here. And I do see some form of SMT divergence around here, I guess. Maybe it's going to be a lot more visible in the 1 minute, perhaps. I don't know, something like this. Let's go in the 1 minute and see. Yeah, see? Gold is making slightly lower lows. And then it had this minor shift, minor break of structure, if you want. And it also did that with the BISI over here, so yeah, we'll see. We'll see what it does further. But for now, I wouldn't really take an entry, only based off of the M1. is empty, honestly. I don't know why. I just wouldn't. Maybe a sweep under this low, I don't know, or at least a rebalance into this area here. Anyway, let's go back to the 5 minutes. I'll just keep on, looking at the 1 minute from now, now and then to see if it, I don't know, if it looks any more clear or whatever. But for now, I'll just stick to the 5 minute because it just looks a little more high probability. It feels more high probability for me. I could actually bring one more chart in here. Let's see. I could bring a 1 minute chart, sort of like this. Okay, let's see. Now I'll put gold in here. On the 1 minute, but for now I think it's silver. Yeah, it's silver. Okay, so let's see. XAUUSD. Forex.com. Oh, but I can't have it on the 1 minute, can I? Yeah, because then all the charts would change. Okay, got it. And then it's no use. Just keep it side by side. Oh, now both of them are gold. Well, what do you know? Isn't that nice? Okay, let's leave it like that. Oh my God. I like the way silver rebalanced that city over here, and then it sort of like really rejected off of it. At least this is what it shows on the 1 minute. Let's see the 5 minute. Yeah, it's looking pretty nice for now. So I would rather wait for a sweep of liquidity under this area, 33.33-ish. And only after that I would consider buys. And maybe it's just gonna continue to push lower. Who knows? Okay, so it's coming into rebalancing this inversion, 8-12. It also sort of like nicely overlaps with 12-minute open, but honestly, I don't know, I wouldn't really see it rejecting after this gained momentum to the downside. I would rather want to see it continue to move lower and just use this momentum to push lower into sweeping the sell side at 33.33, where the bullish move was initiated today during the London kill zone. But we'll see what it does further. Looking at it, it also sort of like had, yeah, this area is also divergent here. So it means that this low carries sell side underneath. But it's not necessarily to sweep that one. Not necessarily, because whenever we're talking about an SMT divergence where gold made a higher low, you will always have SMT sell side at that low and SMT sell side at that low, both lows. So if one of them is swept and then price starts to reject, it doesn't necessarily have to sweep the lower one because it already found SMT sell side here, and it's like it's making like a liquidity sweep, or other people call it inducement, others call it fake shift in market structure, whatever. It's like it's sweeping a intermediary low, you know. Guys, I'm sorry for keep doing this in my nose, but it's like it's I have a runny nose. Yeah, I have a runny nose. You know what? I'll just wait for now. Okay, I just I'll just wait for something clear. Like I said, I'm really gonna show you how boring trading should be. I think I also need to remind myself how boring trading should be. Honestly. Yeah, really nice. Really nice delivery. Beautiful. But still waiting. I'll just keep on waiting. If you guys have questions, by the way, you can ask them in the chat. I'll be more than happy to, answer. I would say that if price does not, if it does this, so if it rebalances this bearish fair value gap and only then it moves down, I would dare to say that it's actually going to use the sell side over here as fuel to continue to push lower. Oh my god, you guys, I feel like falling asleep. There's nothing really happening. Wow, it's so quiet in the chat. Why is it so quiet in the chat, you guys? You guys have nothing to say? I mean, yeah, I understand because I've also been quite quiet. But I'm quiet because you're quiet. I mean, what? Come on, guys, let's light up the chat a little bit, shall we?
This happened in Michigan.
Oh my god. What is going on here? Not too much. Yeah, it's so slow. So slow this morning. I have to be charging up my laptop. Maybe we're gonna get some things moving right now. Who knows? So apparently there's also a 5 minute. What did I just do? There's also a 5 minute city here. Okay. This one. So we're gonna mark that one. And 15 minutes, same thing. So there is this beautiful sell side imbalance, buy side efficiency here around 945. Yeah, really nice one. It's basically on 947 candle. So if it moves into that, especially like if, for example, it's also gonna keep displaying S&P. Oh my god, S&P divergence. And yeah, silver is already sweeping over here, which is basically that high, and it coincides with this high, which is basically the ignition point of the move that created this city. It's looking good so far. Most likely silver will actually, you know what, I wouldn't really, I don't think I would want silver to also sweep this high here. So we'll see. I swear to God, I feel like just falling asleep right now. And look at how beautiful this thing, this candle rebalanced this see this one. And if it does that and then it shows signs of rejection, at the same time silver showing signs of rejection here, I'm definitely gonna consider shorting. I'm also not gonna lie, I'm not really happy about the things that it's sort of like doing, like lower lows, higher lows, lower lows here on the 1 minute, higher lows here. See here. And I definitely don't like this BISI, which is forming out in silver, because it's basically just invalidating this SIBI over here. So it's like conflicting SMTs. You know, silver sweeping buy side, whereas gold will probably stay inside the SIBI. That would be like this, right? Gold creating lower high, silver creating equal highs or higher highs. So that would basically indicate, in the presence of a rejection on both pairs, it would indicate a willingness to move lower. At the same time, we do have lower lows on gold, higher lows on silver. So basically, in the presence of a BISI here on gold and a rebalance and a rejection off of that, it would basically just indicate a willingness of going higher. Let's just see what it does here. Is there? Oh, just look at how I think it already slightly swept or rebalanced the 15-minute, didn't it? Yeah, it sort of like did. The 15-minute SIBI. So breaking under that low with SIBI and also invalidating this bullish fair value gap here would be a nice indication. That is definitely willing to move lower if it's going to do that. But for now, I think that it's definitely going to aim for rebalancing the 5-minute or even the 1 minute, which is here. So I've got this nice reclaimed fair value gap here, this one. 812. It was a SIBI, and it reclaimed that. And it's overlapping with 947 SIBI. Also, nice to see the SMT that's currently forming. I'd like to see like a little more of a rejection over here. I'm gonna wait for this current candle to close on the 1 minute, see how it closes on both pairs. Also, I want to pay attention to the BISI here that silver formed, this one. And apparently it seems that gold is also forming a BISI here. We'll just keep an eye on that, because it's another 1 more minute until the current 5-minute candle is going to close. Could be forming like another minor SMT in here. Like so. You see, it's always a good idea to wait until you are really positive with the fact that price is going to start moving lower. What's the 5-minute scene? What does it look like? And then this, it's actually MSS, market structure shift. That's what it means, Simona. Market structure shift. All right. So we're officially shorting. Stop loss. Take profit. Okay. $37.15. 72. As a first start, 2-to-1. Risk reward ratio. So very small stop loss, 32 pips. And I'm not risking too much on this trade because of the potential conflicting nature of this setup with the SMT, the bullish SMT over here. That's why. So I'm not risking that much. And obviously, because the setup is taken based off of the 1 minute interconfirmation, which is not that high probability. And I might actually get burned on this one. But that's okay. I don't know, is this thing charging? My stop loss is strategically placed. First, just above the bearish fair value gap over here. And second, above the bearish breaker over here. This candle. So if it moves above those levels, I don't want to be in the trade anymore. And I'm also going to pay attention because it might rebalance one more time around here. Maybe even slightly touch the 12 midnight open price and then move down into the 5 minute BC, which is this one. So I want to pay attention to that as well. Of course, provided that it's just not going to move straight to my stop loss. Tisha, the cat is awake. Let's see if we're gonna finally see some movement. That would be very nice. Maybe some of you are gonna wonder why I did not wait for a market structure shift. Simply because I don't usually trade with that kind of confirmation. In this case, just because it was a rebalance of a BISI, if it breaks under that low, and also if it invalidates the BISI, especially by creating a new SIBI, then I'm just going to take that as a good sign for me to keep holding my short position open, because it's likely going to continue to move lower. So, but yeah, maybe waiting for this to happen would have been a better entry, because I would have had a smaller drawdown. We'll see. Five minutes. What I'm not really happy about is the way gold just closed back inside that range low. Back above that range low. Let's see. Now I'd like to see this SIBI holding this one in here. That'll be good. Acting as a resistance, and not just that, but actually as a propeller for price to move lower. How many cats I have? I've got 2 cats. Two lovely cats. Oh my god, I can't believe I just said that I have 2 cats, didn't I? No, I actually had 2 cats, but unfortunately one passed away. I just can't get over the idea. See, this is exactly what I did not want to see. Exactly what I did not want to see. For now, I'm still in the trade. Yeah, just took me out. And that was the alarm of my stop loss being triggered. Okay, so 1 stop loss for now. It was a minor loss, but a loss is a loss. So I'll just keep on waiting for now. And you know, every time I take a loss, I've noticed, especially on 1 minute setups, I've noticed that it's a good idea. I've noticed that it's a good idea to consider moving on a higher time frame for the next entry confirmation. So I'm probably gonna wait for a 5-minute setup in the continuation of the day. It's a really, really boring session. I'm curious if there's any high impact news today. I don't think there are any, but I'm just gonna check. Yeah, no news today. Nothing, nada. And tomorrow, Thursday. Oh my god, why is non-farm payrolls tomorrow, Thursday? Oh my god, because Friday's 4th of July. Okay, so it's gonna be a really, really crazy day tomorrow. Yeah, and now I completely forgot. Honestly, I completely forgot about the fact that it's Independence Day this Friday, and I also completely forgot about the fact that it's non-farm payroll week. Completely forgot. I totally got that out of my system. Wow, look at how beautiful this thing. Invalidated in here. Anyway, I'm not confident to take any trade at this point, simply because I don't see any reason to do that at this point right now. We'll see what this thing will continue to do. So that thing coincides with this one on gold, the 1020 VC on the 5 minutes. How about if this thing just took me out and right now it's gonna start moving lower? I wouldn't. Yeah, that would not be a surprise at all. No surprise at all. Wow, there is a lot of lag in the YouTube live stream, even though I've put latency to be low in the live stream settings. because I've just said that why is non-farm payroll tomorrow and on Friday and not on Friday? I said that like 4 minutes ago. Yes, I only trade gold, Alex. Yeah, definitely. It's not acting how I would have thought it would act. And yeah, just seeing it's non-farm payroll week, it just makes completely sense that it's a little bit unclear. Yeah, so apparently there's around a 6 seconds delay in the live stream. As far as I can see in the YouTube live stream, 6 seconds delay. It's not that big, but it feels like it's a bigger latency. But it's not that big actually. 6 seconds, it's definitely manageable. If I zoom out and just look at how they stay developed. Cardano. Do you guys remember Cardano ADA? It was a cryptocurrency really popular. It's up 5% in the last 19 hours. Oh my god. Alright, what is going on? Oh, nothing. Nothing really. Alright guys, so the market seems to not be going anywhere, honestly. And I'm bored. I mean, I don't mind to, have a boring trading day as long as the market moves. Not with big momentum, great momentum, whatever, but, it's just, I feel like it's been doing the same thing for the past more than half an hour. Alex, I want to ask, do you cut your risk on a next trade after losing, or do you keep the same risk measures no matter what? It really depends, honestly. It depends on how much risk I had on an initial loss. If I've risked like normal risk, full risk, then yeah, I am cutting the risk, but not all the time, honestly. It really depends also on how confident I feel in the next setup that forms. Right now, if I were to take another setup, I would probably not cut the risk in half, or not cut the risk at all, compared to the risk that I've taken with the loss that I just took, simply because it was a minor loss. It was really a minor one. But normally, it's a good idea to cut the loss, to minimize the risk. At least a third of it, I would say, if not even half. Because then you just expose yourself emotionally to you expose less of yourself emotionally to a less favorable event of having a second loss. I'm definitely starting to lose interest. I'll just look at it. So let's see what's it doing here. Anyway, honestly, guys, no reason to enter whatsoever. Really, no reason to enter. Nope. And the reason why I'm saying there's no reason to enter at this point is, despite the fact that there is this very obvious thing in here, which honestly it doesn't really match time-wise, but nevertheless, let's say that I would be willing to, to not be bothered by that. But the thing is that if I were to consider this candle an entry candle for a short, because it's just showing rejection on both pairs, right? I mean, it would make sense for silver because it's showing rejection after having taken buy side above that high. However, on gold, it's showing rejection off of what? But what I'm trying to say is that on this move to the downside, which is the first leg of the SMT, and we would basically be expecting for the second leg of the SMT to form right now, there is no bearish fair value gap in here that price is rejecting from. So it just would not make sense to look for a short. It would have made sense only, like I said, if on this bearish price leg we would have had some form of bearish fair value gap that price would reject from in here. I mean, yeah, there is this CB. However, we're above it, rejecting from above it. We might just, retest it as an inversion and then move higher. We don't know whether that's going to happen or not. The 15-minute also doesn't show any bearish fair value gap on this bearish price leg that price is rejecting from with this current candle. I mean, yes, there is this CB, but price didn't reach into that. And then there is this CB, but again, we've already closed above it, so it just doesn't make sense. Let's see the 30-minute. 30-minute, not really either, because the 30-minute CB is here, but we've already closed above it again. And what about the 1 hour? The 1 hour, there's no CB. So obviously, if there's no CB on the 1 hour, there's going to be no CB on the 4 hour or whatever. I mean, not on this leg. So to take an entry right now, it just wouldn't make sense precisely because of the reason that I've just stated. And there's a big chance that silver would actually want to sweep this SMT buy side above 36.615. It would be nice if silver would sweep that high and gold would just stay stuck inside this 4 hour CB, But I'm not a swing trader, so I wouldn't consider, gold, silver sweeping that high and silver and gold staying inside the CB on the 4 hour. I wouldn't consider that a valid entry signal for me to take a short. I would still need something clear, SMT plus fair value gap, or fair value gap plus SMT on a lower time frame, and the most ideal one is 5-minute. So it really doesn't make sense. And on the 1 minute, I just would not want to trust another 1 minute setup. And I'm fine with it. What if it does that and then I'm fine. I don't care. Ocho-san, you're the only ICT trader I found on Instagram when I was starting out. At that time, I wanted nothing to do with gold at all. Now we are trading gold together. Crazy. What do you think can be a best of profit-taking approach? Francis is asking this. If you're talking general, what I usually do is just I aim for 2R. 1R to move stop loss at break even, and 2R to take profit. I think it's more than okay 2R of take profit, especially if you can confirm that by looking to the left side of the chart and seeing whether there is a real reason why price might want to go to a specific pre-existing level to the left side of the chart that would actually give you a 2R at least in its way of moving in that direction. Don't just look to the left side, see if there is any SMT sell side or buy side, depending if you're buying, if you're selling or buying, or see if there is any obvious imbalance, fair value gap in the left side of the chart that has formed at a, important time of the day, like for example, 8:30 news, not 8:30, 8:30 news, or around that time, 9:30 open, 10 a.m., 10:30, which is basically the silver bullet hour. If you're trading London, pre-London, London open, 2 a.m., 3 a.m. New York time, which is basically when the biggest volume comes for the London Cool Zone. So if you have levels to the left side of the chart that were formed at these specific times or around these specific times of the day, and you see that there is a level of, for example, sell side imbalance, or buy side imbalance, or bearish fair value gap, like for example, like I've seen that the target of this long that I took here on the London Kill Zone today would have been a good target, would have been this 5-minute CB, which was not rebalanced at all. And the reason why it was so important to me is because it formed after price has swept the buy side that it created right after 9:30 a.m. open. Okay, so yeah. And right now, if you look at it, it would make sense for price if there would have been any reasonable, factor to consider taking a short right now. Then, I don't know. Let's say this would have been a setup. Okay. Then I'm looking at where is 2R. Okay, so 2R would be around here. Okay. Is there any reason to the left side of the chart for which price might actually want to travel the needed number of pips, the necessary distance, in order for me to get my 2R, but at the same time, price would reach out for something specific to the left side of the chart? In this case, yes, absolutely. There is this minor S&P sell side over there, which was formed, at London close, not London session close, but at actually London Kill Zone close, By the way, I did not take this, I was just showing it as an example. So if I would see that there is valid reason for which price might want to continue to move down and give me at least a 2R, because it would, have something specific there to reach for, then my 2R makes sense. If, for example, my 2R would be here and there would be nothing here, but there would be a lot lower, right? Meaning that I could get more than 2R, I'm just not going to be stretching myself for more than 2R, okay? Like, for example, this trade, this one that you see here, I didn't hold the trade for that much, okay? It was 4.5R. I didn't hold the trade for that much. I've actually closed the trade I don't actually, let me go ahead and see. I actually closed the trade at 33.40.83. 33.40.83. So I've closed the trade, so 33.40, whatever, 33.41, something like this, okay? Which is just a little over 2R. Okay, so I didn't keep the trade open for that, but I do see that it might want to reach out for that PD array, the 5-minute CB from yesterday. And if it will give me more than 2R till that specific PD array, I'm still just not gonna, you know, be greedy about it and just want it like that, even though it was like a very obvious thing that it would eventually reach out for that PD array in here. But you know, 2R, when I see 2R, I go, okay, should I keep it more? Should I not? Should I not? It's just the way my mind goes. And also, I've had a facial done today, and I've just closed the trade. It just happened to reach to 2R precisely when I arrived at the salon, and yeah, I just said, okay, I'm just gonna close it. So yeah. Someone asking, I would like to restrict my entries to the 9:50 a.m. 10:10 a.m. macro. It's kind of the most algorithmic time I have witnessed. Kindly advise. Well, the only advice that I can give you is just go for it for at least 2 weeks. Exclusively, you know, restrict your entries to that macro and do it for, you know, I think 2 weeks would be enough, maybe a whole month, so that you can experiment the whole swing of an entire month, and then just evaluate. You can't know if something's going to work unless you do it first and then you evaluate. You literally cannot know. So the only thing that I can advise you is try it out. Make sure that you're going to trade for enough amount of time so that the conclusions that you're going to draw after this experiment are going to make sense, and you know, just go for it. But yeah, honestly, it's a good approach, because usually you're going to get good entries during that macro. But what I would also advise you would be like, don't chase price and be a little flexible. Like, for example, if you're not going to get your entry inside the macro, and let's say you're going to get it at 10:12, just don't stress too much over it. Don't skip a trade just because it's 2 minutes past your macro, you know. Or if your entry would be at, I don't know, 9:48, 2 minutes before the macro starts. Just don't be too rigid about it. You know, just give it a few minutes of play. Okay, guys, I'm about to call it a day, because clearly there's not a lot of stuff going on. And I have someone coming over, so I just want to get ready for this person that's coming over. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow, I guess. I'm just gonna mark some theories here on silver, and that's about it. Okay, guys, thank you for watching, thank you for being here, and I guess I'll talk to you tomorrow.